Hi, this is Dylan Hammock, and this is my week 2 map. First thing it asked me to do was to put orange dots on a couple of cities. So the first city that we have is Sidon. Then we go to Zarephath, Tyr. Then we go to Usu. Then we go to Akko. And then we go to Akshaf. Then we go to Megiddo. Then we go to Adaman, Tiberias, Yerhem. Then we go to Hazor. Then we come over here and we go to Kiriath Anab and Edeh. Then we come over here and we get Rehob and Beth Shan. We get Akuna right here. We have Shechem here. We have Joppa here, Gaza here, and Rafi here. So those are all the dots that we had and that we went over in the beginning. Then it asked us to go over, I'm sorry, 1 second please. It asked us to go over in Hori's letter, we find this route. So it starts at Sidon, and we move south to Tyr. Then we go to Akko, and then we go to Jakam, and then after that we finish off at Gath. So we finish here. So that's what we have highlighted so far. The next thing it asks us to highlight is we start at Megiddo, and we go north to Hazor. So we go up here, and from Hazor we go north and we go off the map. So we decide to go off the map. So right now we have this and we have this. After that, it asks us to highlight north of Damascus. So we're right here. We're north of Damascus. And to move directly south to Kamim. So we go here. So right now we have that highlighted. And then it asks us to go a direct route from Kamim to Beth Habarel. So we go straight there. And then from there to Beth Shan. So we go straight there. And then from Beth Shan straight to Megiddo. So we go straight there. So right now we have this highlighted, and this highlighted. After that, it asks us to, from the dot at Megiddo, go through and pass to Gath. So from Megiddo, we go to Gath. So now this is connected. And then from Gath to go Apek. There's Apek. Then to go to Ashdod. Then to go to Gaza, Rafah, and then go off the map. So right now we have all the way down here. But then it also asks us from Gath to go to Joppa and then to connect. So we actually have kind of a circle right there. The next thing it asks us to highlight is on over here. And we start at Hazor. And we want to connect it with Damascus, so we go to Doth, and then Don, and then we connect, because it's connected through Don. So now these are all connected to go that way. After that, we start at Karim for this next highway, and we go south to Gersa, which is right here. And then we go south to Rabbah. And then instead of going right, we go left, and we go south to Medeba, and then to Debon. And then from Debon, it asks us to go to Bazora, which is way down here. And then from Bazora, it asks us to go down to Petra, which is over here, and then to go off the map. So this is called the King's Highway, because it is the safer, more expensive highway. And mostly wealthy people take that one. After that one is done, it asks us to go this way instead, and it says to go first to Saba, and then to go to Khazar Bashir, from Khazar Bashir to Katerna, and then go south straight off the map. This highway is called the Desert Highway because it is the harder highway to travel on. There's more desert, and it's much more difficult than the King's Highway to travel. After this, it asks, it asks us to do the expansion of David. and obviously we were going to start in Jerusalem, and we square off Jerusalem in green. After that, it asks us to circle some battlefields along the highway. First, we start with Gazir, which is here. Then we do Medeba, which is here. Then we do Rabbah, which is here. And then we do Helam, which is here. It first starts off with A, and A is over here. So A is from Jerusalem to Gazir. So we have a nice arrow showing that. And then we have B, which B shows Jerusalem to Gath, going through Bethlehem. And then also through Akeh, which is right there. And C, he goes to Gath. Then we have C, which goes east into Jericho, and then spurts off on another one and takes a route to Dibon, as you can see there. And then we have D, which actually does not start in Jerusalem, but starts in Bethlehem. And from Bethlehem, it goes to Hebron. And from Hebron, it goes to Arad, which is here. And then from Arad, it goes into the Rif Valley west of Zor, which is Zor is here. So here is the Rif Valley. This is where he goes. And then we have to do E. So E is here, and it says that E is after Jericho. So after they go to Jericho, instead of going with them, they went this way and to Abila. And from Abila, they went into Medeba, which Medeba is here. So they took this route instead of this route. After E, we have F, and F juts off of E. Instead of going to Medeba, they decide to go north at Abila, and they go to Jazir, then to Jagaba, then to Girsa, then to Edia, and then they finish off at Helem. Now G, instead of going E or F, they decide to go straight, and they jut off into the intersection, and they go to Rabbah, which is here. H is over here. As A went to Gazir, they decided to go to Joppa after that. So then you see us going to Joppa there. And it asks us to underline Megiddo, which Megiddo is up here. It also asks us to underline Bashan. And it also asks us to underline Zor. And the reason for that is these were Canaanite cities taken by David, but they were not listed in his conquest. So we decided to underline them in green to show that they were taken. The next thing we need to do is we have a blue box on Damascus. And we start off with that. This is the Hazael capital, so this is going to show that conquest. Then they ask us to do two blue circles. The first at Aurora, which is right here, and we circled that in blue. And the other one is in Gath, which you can see right here. And they tell us to do sweeping blue arrows to both of them. The first one, which is A, which is going towards Aurora, which is here. It tells us first to go via Gerasa. So Gerasa is here, but the thing is you have to skip over the green line, so we skipped over here. And then we stay east and of the green line there. So we go here and bam, we go there. And then from there we go to Rabbah, which there is Rabbah. And then from Rabbah we go right here into Ariel. The other one is from Damascus to Gath. So we go first to Hazor, which is here, as we saw earlier. And then we go to Megiddo, which is here. And then we go to Apek. And then we go down, skip over the line, and go to Gath, right there. This is a great illustration to show that if you notice, they mostly use the routes to take. They take the routes to get to wherever they're going to conquest. It's an easier way to travel, so that's the way they traveled. The last thing they asked us to do for this assignment is, I'm sorry, one second, please. right here. Okay. They asked us to highlight both Moab, which is right here, and they also asked us to highlight Ammon, which is right here. So we highlighted both of those. And then after we highlighted both of those, it asked us to write in a small black little capital. And to find where we need to write, it says find Zor. So we find Zor, and Zor is right here. And it tells us to go south of the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Zered Canyon. So we find the Zered Canyon right here. And we follow the deep Zered Canyon east. So we follow the canyon. And then we find this is where the end of the camp is. I mean, the Zered Canyon is. And this is where it tells us to write Zered Camp. So we write Zered Camp here. After that, it tells us to, it's near the desert highway, but it's also in between. After that, it tells us to go to the Aor and Dibon, which here is Dibon and Aora. And then it tells us to go to the northern side of the canyon, which is here, which we're up here. And it tells us to follow the canyon east, similar to the other one, and then write a camp here. So this is the Ornan camp. This is right here. After both of those are done, it tells us to put a red dot on the city of Jahaz. So we went ahead and put that there. And then after that, it tells us to, it tells us to put a blue box around Heshbon, which is the Sinai capital. So we see that right here. We have our blue box. And then it tells us to do 4 sweeping green arrows to show this movement. So first we have the movement to Zered, then from Zered to the Arnon camp, then to Jaharaz, and then to Heshbon. After that, it tells us to put right here, in this area right here, above the E and the A, above the E, right in small black capital letters, Moses moves around Edom and Moab. It also asks us to underline Heshbon in red, as this is Israel's victory over Hassan and the Amorites. And then it lastly tells us to finish off by putting a red dot on Hazer, and to also put a red dot on Edi, which we had an orange dot on, so it kind of mixes odd, because those are victories over the Amorites. This is here's a better look at my map. Sorry. Very big. Really enjoyed this assignment. Thank you very much.